Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking shop to my buddy Kevin King about Amazon FBA and any e-commerce questions that come up. So, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about news, tips, updates, anything that we go down any rabbit hole. You know, when Kevin's on, we just talk about anything. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to the Lunch with Norm podcast, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm.
As mentioned, today we're going to be talking shop about Amazon FBA, and our guest, Mentor Sellers collectively doing over $500 million US per year on Amazon, Amazon.com, in the Freedom Ticket and in the Helium 10 Elite Masterminds. He is also recognized for his incredible $1 billion Seller Summit and is a regular on this podcast. And I'm talking about Kevin King. So we'll be getting to him in a second. But first, a message from our sponsor. A big thank you to our sponsor, Startup Club, the largest club on Clubhouse with over 790,000 members and growing. They're one of the world's largest communities supporting the startup ecosystem, from founders to those wishing to work for a startup and everything in between. You can find them at www.startup.club for blogs, recordings, and a calendar of upcoming shows, and on the Clubhouse app. Just search Startup Club for daily shows 24/7. You can also now listen to their show, the Serial Entrepreneur Club podcast, on Apple and Spotify too. Stop by to connect, learn, and grow together. All right, where is... not the man, the boy, the myth. Yeah, that's it. You're there.
Here I am. Hello.
The boy, the myth, the blunder. Is that right?
It's got a nice ring to it, I'd say.
I thought so. I'll get a t-shirt for you on your birthday.
Perfect. Thank you. Oh, I get a present this year?
Well, yeah, you do. Not just a slap across the head.
It's a good year.
Yeah, blow out your cupcake, your candle.
Oh boy. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome DK, Kim, and Rad. It's nice to see you guys. Happy Friday. Welcome to today's show. This is one of the great episodes of Kevin King. He's been on. I think it's got to be at least double digits. 15. Yeah, so many. Anyways, it's always great to have Kevin on. We're going to be talking shop with him, asking any Amazon FBA e-commerce questions. So if you do have questions, feel free to put them over into the comment section. And don't forget to smash those like buttons. Give us a thumbs up. You YouTubers out there, if you could hit that subscribe button down below and ring that bell. Make sure you get all those notifications when we do go live, because sometimes we like to spring it on you and maybe go live out of nowhere. So if you want to hit that button, that'd be great. Also, let me see, if you are not part of our community, make sure you join. That is the Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and e-commerce collective. That's where all the fun stuff happens. We ask trivia, we got polls, questions. You can ask your questions about selling on Amazon and e-com. It's a great place to meet everyone. The people that you see in the comments, the regulars here, they're pretty much all part of the community there. And yeah, it's a great place to meet some other sellers, and you can just relate and have some fun. And I think that's about it.
Okay. All right. Like Kelsey said, if you have any questions or comments, just throw them over into the comment area. We usually get pretty loaded with questions when Kevin's on. So if you're thinking of anything about your Amazon, off Amazon, anything you can think about, just throw them in the comment section. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, enjoy this episode, and welcome, Mr. King.
Hold on, man. I'm typing my comments here to ask you.
Okay, that's good. At least you listened.
What's up, Norm? Good to see you, man.
Me too.
Long time no see.
Did you today? Did you?
Is
this official?
Dishwasher.
Oh my gosh, how could you do that?
My wife was drinking out of it the other day, so it's in the dishwasher. She did some green tea or something. I'm like, I can't. You can't.
You're making
Wash
excuses.
that really good because I don't do that green juice, not green tea, green juice.
I'll send you a second one.
There you go. I did another one.
So what's up with Mr. King lately?
Oh man, working like a chicken with its head cut off,
Chicken with his head cut off.
running around
Okay.
like crazy.
You got a lot going on, don't you?
I do. I have a lot going on.
Wow. So one thing I want to mention, and we'll talk about it at the end as well. BDSS is coming up in August.
It is.
And I don't know if you have a link or if you have anything that you can provide to the podcast. We didn't talk about this beforehand, but if you do have a link or just go over to $1 Billion Seller Summit, if you want to go to one of the best events there is out there for Amazon sellers, and probably one of the higher level ones. Oh, what does Kevin have in his hand?
$1 billion. I sent one of these to you, Norm. It probably hasn't made its way to the Great White North yet, but you should be getting one of these $1 billion bills.
So I can say I'm a billionaire.
That's right. Just like I think Howard Ty just posted, he's a billionaire now. And someone, it's real money. It's from Zimbabwe. And Howard posted, because I sent these out as a little promotional thing for $1 Billion Seller Summit to all the past attendees and stuff. And so you should be getting one soon. But he got one. He posted it last night, and someone actually from Zimbabwe, I guess follows him, and posted and said, "Hey, that's like our currency, our old currency." He's like, "What will it buy me?" And he's like, "Not much now. Not even a loaf of bread." Yeah,
sounds like the Canadian dollar. But all right, so we got a bunch of listeners on. Like I said earlier, just make sure that you throw over some questions because we will be getting a lot. Where do you want to start? You want to get into what's currently happening on Amazon? Any changes?
I don't. Sure, we can do whatever.
Okay, or we could talk about Prime Day.
Sure. Yeah, Prime Day's coming up, and they haven't announced the date yet, but everybody's speculating July, right?
Yeah, we know it's. I think we know it's in July, but they've got a bunch of different cutoff dates. If you want to put any deals in or anything like that, your inventory cutoff. I forget what they said it was. Inventory cutoff was June something, wasn't it?
Yeah. To be honest with you, you know what? I've been selling on Amazon as FBA since 2015. I participated in one Prime Day, and I think that was the 2016 one.
Yep.
Ever since then, I don't do nothing. I don't do anything for it because it's just, a lot of people, they build a whole marketing plan around it and do a whole thing, and they see big spikes. But for me, there's too much risk in it for me because you never know what's, even if you get a deal, you don't know if those deals are going to go
right.
or not. You can send in, 50,000 extra units and you may blast through them all. And, you have a really good day, but on the same token, you may sell 200 of them. So I've always been that I have no control over what happens, even if I have promotions running with Prime Day. And so I just ride the coattails, the traffic is up with everybody. And so across the board, you should see depending on what you're selling, you should see a decent spike just because so many more people are there buying. And that's basically all I do. I don't do any other strategy. I know a lot of people prepare for like 3 months for this, and it's a big deal. But for me, to be honest, Prime Day is no big deal. It's a marketing gimmick, and I do better during the holidays. Every day is a Prime Day for me from late November till early mid to late December. And they're almost all those days are just as good as any kind of Prime Day effort I could do. So I'm like, what's the point of spending all this time to make an extra 5 or 10 grand? It's just not worth it. That's my flaw. That's my flaw. Now other people are going to totally disagree with me and say I'm a fool, but that's just my philosophy on it.
Yeah, it's interesting because Tim Jordan, a friend of ours, he says exactly the same thing, and I go right along those lines as well. The people are there ready to buy, and you can keep. And Tim's adamant about that. He won't budge on a price at all. He'll just keep the same price. Let it roll out. people will come and buy the product. You'll see a little bit of a bump during the day. But for everybody, especially if you're new, this is a time where Amazon makes a ton of money. And matter of fact, the stat, I believe, was last year's Prime Day. The winner in last year's Prime Day was Amazon. Their products made, they had a bump of 68%. Now, if I go back and I take a look or talk to other Amazon sellers, I would believe the majority of them did not. Or if they did, they had to drop their pants. So a lot of people make the mistake in overbidding or bidding throughout the day. Our philosophy is really simple. We start out with a very, very low bid up to a mid-tier bid. And then at the end of the day, towards the end of the day, we're hoping our competition has sold out. So we'll go back up to a regular bid. And then that way we're making money. We're not dropping our price. And one of the things that we're doing is we do a pre-Prime Day. So we started doing this a few years ago where a couple of weeks beforehand, we let our list. So if you're gathering your list over on your e-com site, you send out a mailer to them and just saying we're doing a pre-launch Prime Day where we're giving away, and you can say even a better price. And that way you can get some sales without having to get into the PPC and driving your profit down. But you can get a lot of sales that way just on pre. So that's something that we do. And I don't know if you do anything outside of that as well, any form of outside marketing to drive traffic.
Not for Prime Day, no. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good idea, what you just said, especially if you got lightning deals or something. Priming the pump, no pun intended there, before the lightning deals go can actually help you boost your ranking on your lightning deal from, up from the dredges to, a reasonable top of the page 1, 2, 3, 4, the lightning deals or something. That can definitely help. And something, if that's what your strategy is, I would recommend you do. But I don't do any of that stuff. I mean, people do like deals. I mean, in marketing, people do like sales around events. That's why there's always a President's Day sale. That's why this weekend in the U.S. there's Memorial Day sales going on everywhere. There's all those marketing around events. Easter sales is the psychology of humans. That makes sense. But Prime Day is just another one of those events. And for me, in my old other business, when I was going direct to consumer a lot, I would run these sales. But then people just wait for the sales.
Yeah.
And so depends on, Apple, you're never going to see running Apple Day sales. If they do, it's some ridiculously small amount, 5% discount. Apple never discounts their stuff. And that's the branding. So it depends on what your branding is, but if you condition people to always buy, there's a really good, The Wizard of Ads. If you've ever read, you can Google this not Google it, look it up on Amazon, the Wizard of Ads books. There's like 3 of them. And they came out about 20 years ago. And the guy he has here, you've probably been out to it, I think, here in Austin. He has a big academy out in the countryside, has a big castle that he built because he's a wizard. He brings in all these top marketing people. And that's one of the things that they really talk about is like, look, if you condition people to buy on sales, they're only going to buy on sales. And you could be leaving a lot of money on the table. And so if that's your strategy, that's fine. But so for me, when I've always done deals in the past where it's a Memorial Day, and trust me, I've done emails to my list saying it's Memorial Day, it's President's Day, or it's July 4th weekend, we have a big sale going on. But I'm not selling my top stuff. I'm getting rid of crap. So this kind of stuff is the stuff I don't want anymore. But if it's something that's continually selling, it's not going on sale at all. The only thing I might do on something like that is say, buy this thing at regular price, and because it's President's Day, I'll give you a free gift. And that free gift is one of my products I'm overstocked on, just trying to dump.
Yeah.
Just to motivate them to get off but they still pay the full price for that item. And I have a product that we've been selling for 12 years now, direct to consumer. We don't sell it on Amazon now, but it's a hard drive with a lot of data and stuff on it. And we sell that thing for $349. And I'll never discount that because it's been selling for $349. It used to sell for a little bit more, but for $349 basically for 12 years. But the only thing I'll do is I'll if I got an extra something else that they would want that I'm overstocked on, it's just taking up space or it's about to expire, I might say, okay, you get this free if you buy it. That's just still the full price, but that's the extent of it. And so you got to be careful with all this and look at the long term effects, not just immediate cash flow or immediate. Don't get caught up in the hysteria.
I think I told you this. I used to work with a bracelet company, a fairly well known bracelet company, and they did a blast for Prime Day. They had 700 and some odd thousand in sales. They lost money.
Yeah, yeah. I believe every bit of it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It sounds good. Amazon does it to drive Prime memberships. So they sell get a lot of extra people on Prime memberships. Like you said, they sell a lot of their own stuff, but they don't care if they sell 68% bump or whatever you said. They don't care because they're making money. Even if they sell a Alexa or one of their devices at a break even or a discount, they're still making money off the ads and all the other stuff on it down the road. So that whether they care, they just get people involved in the hype and hysteria, and they get one in their house. It's good marketing from their point of view, but for me, Prime Day is I don't pay much attention to it. I've never bought on Prime Day as a customer ever.
No?
Never, not as a customer. And I mean, I buy a lot on Amazon, but probably it doesn't motivate me to go and buy anything because it just doesn't. If I want something, I just buy it when I need it, not save up for Prime Day and let me save 5% and not have the shit I want for 2 months or whatever because I'm waiting for Prime Day.
Right. One of the other things that I think we should talk about, and you touched on it, was discounting, heavy discounting. Now, this isn't just for Prime Day, but I find a lot of the times, I noticed I did this at sometimes as well, but when you want to give away either quantity, so you're looking at that coupon stack, or it could be just driving people over to your website to buy multiple quantities of anything. Well, you give away the farm. So so for us, we have a 1-pack, 3-pack, 5-pack, and the most we're giving away, actually we have a bigger quantity as well in the B2B, which is 25, 50, and 100. But instead of going 10% off, 15% off, 25% off, it makes no sense. And what we try to do is we'll take a couple of points off. If you want the 3-pack, that's a 3%. If you want the 5-pack, it might be 5%. If you want the next, it's 7%. You'll never see us giving away 10% or 15% because it eats away too much at the profit. So I wanted to see what your thoughts were on discounting.
Yeah, I agree with you. Ironically, it's interesting that you're saying that because on that business discounting, you have 5 tiers where you can do the little 5 tiers on the business discounts on Amazon, and I do the same. It's like 2%, 2.5%, 4%, 6%. I think the top, if you order the maximum, the 100 or whatever the biggest package is, might be 10%.
Yeah,
but that's it. And a lot of times when I'm doing it, if it's not in the business pricing for the business customers, it's just on the listing. You got a 1-pack, 3-pack, 5-pack, like you said. The difference in the price on most of those is my fulfillment cost. Because if you look at a 1-pack, let's say Amazon, the 15% in most cases is a wash, but let's say the fulfillment cost is $4.20 a unit, and for the 1-pack. But for the 2-pack, I'm sorry, for the 3-pack, it's $6.80 a unit because it's a little bit extra weight or whatever. So the difference there is if they would have bought 3, at 420 times 3 is $12.60, and then I'm paying $6.80 or whatever I just said. So that's like a $6 discount. So that would be the maximum I would go. So I'm still making the same money. I'm just getting them to spend more.
Right.
That would be the maximum discount. So at the end of the day, my books are not being messed up, or I'm not really giving away, really not really taking money out of my pocket, if you could say so to speak. So that would be the maximum. And a lot of times I go below that, but that's how I figure out what those would be for the 1, 3, 5, 10-pack. It's not just some made up number. Oh, let me give them 10%. Let me give them
it's only 10%.
Actually do the math.
Exactly. Yeah. 25%. What the heck? So the other thing, I don't know if the listeners know this, but check it out for yourself on those coupon stacks. See how many people actually apply the coupon. I find that it's different than the digital, but on the coupon stack, so many people forget to add the coupon code and they get it at the regular price.
Yeah, if it's a coupon where you got to enter a code, yeah, that's way down. And even even the clippable ones, that a lot of people add them, they never redeem them. That's because they didn't probably check out. But even me as a shopper, I miss that all the time.
Yeah.
I know some people, they really zero in on it. Some people are like, when they're shopping, they're very cost conscious and they're very
Connie.
They're looking for that. They're looking for that. But to be honest, there's a lot of times where I'll buy something personally on Amazon and I'm in the cart and then I'm like, is this really the one I want? Because you'll see, down at the bottom, similar items. I might get distracted, like, oh, let me check this one, and then I'll go back to the one, compare it to the one I have, and I'm like, oh shoot, there's a coupon there, so I gotta go delete it from the cart, and then add it back in with the coupon clip. I miss them all the time.
But my wife is Hawkeye when it comes to that.
Yeah, some people are very Hawkeye on that, and that's a big motivator for women, especially. I mean, so definitely do it if it makes sense for you. But I'm just saying, from me, I don't know. Maybe I'm the exception.
I think a lot of people are like that, and also with the digital coupons. So digital coupons are a little bit different. There's more people will click on it. It's in your face, but there's still, again, going to sellers. You have to keep in mind, if you're going to give 5% or 10% off. I think the last stat I heard, and this was a few months back, but 66% of the people actually use the discount. So you're not giving that full discount away to everybody. You've got that, that third that are not going to apply it, which I found, like, I always apply it. I can see it. I'll click on it. It's the first thing I do. But you can use that as a calculation that that you're going to be making a little bit extra. So it's just a bit more motivation to keep your price in a specific area.
I mean, I use coupons when I'm launching, when I don't have a lot of reviews, or if the reviews are, if I've launched a product and maybe it's averaging a 4-star, 4.2, then I'll use coupons. But if I'm a 4.5 or above, I don't, except for launch, I really don't use coupons. I don't find it necessary. And then the only other time I mind is sometimes at Christmas time, I raise my prices.
Yep.
I got an item that's $19.95 during the Christmas season. I might put it at $24.95, and then I might put a $5 coupon on it so that it reverts back to $19.95. And just to get those people that like you said, that are like Connie, that are Hawkeye, and they're looking for it, because then the rationale of that is if everybody else is at $19.95 and I'm at $24.95, well, most people are going, well, this guy's the more expensive one. I'm going to buy the $19.95. But wait a minute, why is he more expensive? Maybe it's a better quality. Maybe there's something to it. But, here's a $5 coupon, so it's going to be equal to all these other people. So psychologically, it kind of tricks them. And like, I'm getting a better deal. I'm getting a better quality at the same price. So that's another time I might use it if I need to do some marketing like that.
Yeah, that's 100% exactly what I do. Is I try to bring it down. We talk about 3 tiers of pricing. Lowest tier, the product cannibalization, the mid or the average tier, and then the higher tier. And we always will play around with, you've got a high price. This is on a launch, or if we're just trying to, like you said, increase reviews or just get some more sales velocity. But we'll bring it down just to where that second tier is. And then, like you said, people are looking at it and they're saying, wow, I can get this quality of product for a much higher perceived value. And they do it. They'll buy it. So that's a great tip, Kevin. All right. Now, the other part to this, do you do anything? Do you segment your lists? First of all, do you drive traffic over to a website?
It depends. I mean, it depends on what I'm doing. It depends on the product. Yeah, I do drive traffic to my own websites. I have a Shopify site for some of my brands. I have one on, call it a ClickCart Pro for another old brand. It's not even on Shopify, but yeah, I do drive traffic in some cases. Just depends. Like for my calendar business, we drive traffic to our own website, because on our own website, we charge $19.95 for one of the calendars plus $9.95 shipping if it's in the US. Yep. We still charge shipping and people pay it. We get the occasional FU, I'm not paying $10 shipping. I'm like, go buy it on Amazon then, because we sell it on Amazon too for $19.95. But we still have a lot of people that will pay that $9.95 shipping, and it costs me about $5.60 or so to actually ship that out first class mail. And so I actually make a little bit extra money. Plus, I own the customer. But we'll take that list and we'll use it to launch on Amazon. So I'll segment that list, and sometimes it's a list of 16,000 buyers. Buyers, not like people that signed up for an email, but people who have bought in the last some point in the last 20 years. And then every year I do a couple things on it. I do an NCOA here in the US. So that's called National Change of Address. I use a company called Melissa Data. And you can take them and they can append the email addresses to it. They can append phone numbers, but they also, they do this for Canada too. As we have a bunch of Canadian people as well. But they will update the address. So if you move, you go out and you fill out one of those forms for the post office that you moved, that goes into a big database, and they will update the address. So if you move from one house to another, I'm going to get your new address if you filled out one of those forms. And it updates my database so that everything is clean, and it standardizes it so that some people will put apartment number, some people put the number sign, some people put unit. It standardizes it to what the post office wants, adds the 4-digit code. And then I segment that based on buying habits. So if they haven't, since it's a seasonal product, it's once a year. I do basically, if you've bought in the last 3 years, you're still hot. If it's been 5 years since you bought, you're not so hot. You might have been a one-off thing. Maybe you died. This cleaning will actually tell you who died. You take them off your list, and so then I segment it that way. Sometimes there's called 30-day hot list if you're selling, or 90-day hot lists. Those are the best buyers, the people who bought from me most recently. And if you're selling something that's not seasonal, it's 30 or 90 days. But since mine is seasonal, I do 3 years. So I segment that list, and then I segment multi-buyers. So I take in there who's spent by the dollar amount. So who spent over $100, who spent 50 to 100. Who's bought certain types of products. So it's all segmented. And I do the same thing on Amazon. When I download all my customer data on Amazon, if it's FBM, you can get the addresses as long as you do it within 30 days, typically, through ShipStation or something. Or you can still use TaxJar for all your FBA orders too. There's some backdoor loopholes that you can get all the customer data. I download all that, and then I match it up based on whether they bought once, whether they bought twice, 3 times, how many frequency of buys, and how much they've spent, and they get segmented. And then also, if there's people on my list that just only filled out a warranty card, or they only, if I was doing some discount and they hit a landing page and they had to enter their email address for a discount, they're separate. They're not all pulled together. Now, sometimes I'll mail the whole thing, but they're all segmented. And then I do the same thing for the $1 Billion Seller Summit. You probably get emails from me from the $1 Billion Seller Summit. I have 17 different lists for the $1 Billion Seller Summit attendee. There's an attendees list, a sponsors list, a speakers list, who clicked on the last download list. They're all segmented. And sometimes I'll just I'll click them all to send it. Other times I'm like, let me only target the people who clicked, to download the last slides. So yes, if you're not segmenting, you're making a huge mistake. Sorry, that was a long answer, but that's to give you the idea there. Hey, Connie, how you doing?
Every time you're on, she has to make the
puppies. Look at those puppies.
Puppy shirt on.
Awesome.
Why are
Good
you
to see you.
puppies?
Because they're cute.
Okay. All right. She can't hear, but anyways, that was crazy. She's crazy, but now she's out of the room. But okay, yeah, that's something that we do too with our Shopify sites. Is depending on the site, but we try to segment the list, and we do it a little. You probably do it too. This is just a different way for us. Is that if somebody's bought off a discount, they're on that list. If somebody's bought full price, they're on that list.
Yeah, I have those lists too.
Yeah, and then that way,
the level of discount too. With a 20% discount is a different list than an 80% discount list. It's a different buyer.
Right, absolutely. So this way, you know what you need to, or how you need to discount or approach them. So I think that's important. We're going to go into to just a commercial in a second. And then I want to come back and talk a little bit about customer personas. But anyways, for everybody listening, if you've got questions, I know they're starting to stack up already. We're going to probably get into those so we don't miss out on any very quickly. But we do have a giveaway today. Kevin's giving away 1 week of time. Fly down to Austin, stay with him. And yeah, thank you, Kevin. Very generous gift. And then we're also giving away. The giveaway today is one of two things. You can get the Tariff Buddy from Afalabi Honu Worldwide, which has a value of, I think it's $2.95, or you can get a free month pallet. You can have your fulfillment done over at Honu for a full month. So you can pick either or. So that's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey and tag 2 people, and you get a second entry. We're also going to throw in, if you're in North America, one of our Lunch with Norm mugs and M&Ms.
All right. Also, do you want to, like, the inventory management is also an option
for a month? Yeah, sure. So there's 3 then. There's 3 options. And that inventory management service that's been created is incredible. Everybody loves what Afalabi's doing with that. So, okay, we can go to a commercial now, Kels, or are you going to interrupt me?
I'm going to interrupt you just quickly. We are sharing from Norm's personal Facebook. So if you'll notice, if you're posting in the Norm's personal Facebook stream right now, we're not able to pull those comments up. So I've just posted this question separately, but that's the reason why you won't see your comments. I just want to throw that out there to the listeners. But everything else is good. So make sure you enter today's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, and we'll jump to a commercial.
The Legion is your go-to community where you can learn, grow, and build your Amazon and e-commerce business. As you know, being an entrepreneur can be lonely. Now you can share struggles, build a network, and celebrate your successes. And guess what? Our community is free. All you have to do is head over to our Facebook group to join. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel at Private Label Legion, so you can stay up to date with tips, strategies, and advice from other experts in the industry. Okay, remember one thing. To get all this great information, follow us, subscribe, and ring that bell so you can get automatic notifications. Okay, we're back. Kevin, do you bother or do you spend a lot of time figuring out your audience or your personas?
Yeah, especially when I'm starting a new brand, we do. We actually give them names. Like we'll say there's Mike and there's Susan and there's Tom.
Yep.
But yeah, we do. When we start a brand new brand, we do create like a little persona, and we actually give them basically like creating a character in a comic book almost. And sometimes we even sketch them out, how they look, what they're doing, what their hobbies are.
Yep.
Yeah. I do on a brand new brand. I do that, and then that way we know this is what we're targeting, and we'll say it in the marketing. Target Susan, or target Tom, or whatever. And yeah, we have that in mind. And I even have that in mind sometimes when I'm writing stuff for, let's say like this calendar business that I always talk about. It's the one I usually give an example of. I'll talk about everything I do, but that one, and I will have the customer in mind. I know, like I've said in the past, we still have people that send checks and money orders in the mail. It's not just a internet world. We get 6 figures in checks and money orders in the mail, in envelopes. Huh. So you have to get in the mind of who is that customer. And that customer is, usually like a 70-year-old guy. That
Careful.
Yeah.
Very
You're not quite that old. I think you're a day or two older than me. But,
okay.
You're not that old yet. So that lives in a. This is not. I don't mean this as a put down or anything, but it's a 65, 7-year-old single guy who maybe has probably never been married, or if he was, it was a long time ago, and lives in a trailer park, and drives a beat up old Chevy, and whatever. And that's the guy that's sending us a money order that's going down to the local 7-Eleven and getting a $22 money order and sending it to us. So I have to market to that guy. What's going to, he's probably got a couple packs of cigarettes, next to his coffee table, and stains on the rug, but that's who I'm marketing to. And so you got to know that. And if you know that, then you psychologically target him in your marketing and appeal to him. And then I may have another customer who is an executive, lives on Wall Street, but it has a garage, out in the Hamptons or somewhere where he likes to tinker with cars on the weekend and likes to hang calendars on the wall in his garage or whatever. So I have to target that guy, and we target them differently.
Janelle Page was on recently, and she was talking about if your brand goes out to everybody, it'll go out to nobody.
It's true.
You're not selling to anybody.
If I send out a direct mail piece or an email, you and I just sent out an email the other day, earlier this week, for an event we're doing around the F1, and we have a joke about someone responded and they said something in one of these emails. It's kind of offensive in one way, but also, and like, if I didn't get that, that means I didn't do a good enough job. If I don't, what this person says is kind of ridiculous in the response, and kind of like a kind of being an a-hole. But it's if you don't agitate somebody or isolate some people, then you haven't actually done good marketing.
Right.
If everybody likes you, or if you're trying to be politically correct or trying to just appease everybody, you failed. Just like what you said, Janelle said. So yeah, I actually use that as a gauge. If I don't get someone that says your copy sucks, or this price is ridiculous, do I get this, and this with it? Does it come with diamond earrings and, or whatever? Something crazy, our guy said something different, but something crazy, then I'm like, I didn't do my job.
Yeah. And, one of the ways to learn this, you can go out and you can find and do your own research, check out Instagram, check out Facebook, go to YouTube, find out who your audience is. But you can also go to sparktoro.com, and they have a way to look at your competitors and within a very quick period of time, see who their influencers are and their followers are, and get a better idea of who they are. Stephen Black, I've mentioned his name a few times recently, but he goes one step further, and he'll go into Facebook groups, and he'll just kind of hang there, just listen to the Facebook group and see what they're saying, how they're saying it, and builds his persona around that. And also, like, you'll get the lingo a lot of the times you can use this. He shows examples about this in his presentation I last saw, but certain keywords that don't show up typically in Amazon, except for that specific group. It might be some surfing lingo or scuba lingo or whatever. And it's really cool. I wasn't doing that before, but after listening to Stephen, as part of some of the things that we just do, we just hang out in Facebook groups, and then we'll start to comment back and forth. So anyways, personas are so bloody. And like just going down, talking a bit more about the persona and the importance of it. Like you said, if you're in an elevator, you should be able to know whether that's a Sue or a Bob. And if that person starts talking to you and they want to know a little bit about your product, you should be able to pitch them.
Yeah. And that elevator thing too, I do this, and some people may say it's discriminatory or something, but I think I do it because I'm a marketer, but I change the way I speak depending on the audience. So if I'm in an elevator and it's a bunch of brothers from, gangbangers type of guys or whatever in there, and they say something to me, I'm going to answer them in a different way, in a different tone of voice. I'm going to speak more, like you said, their words. If they say, "How are you?" I'm not going to say, "I'm doing very, very good today. Thank you so much." I'm going to say, I'm going to say something that's more street, to answer that question. How are you doing today? Man, I'm rocking, or whatever it may be. That's probably a bad example, but I'm going to say something that's, if I'm in a crowd where it's mostly, if I'm in Latin America, I'm going to typically be a little bit different versus if I'm in Asia, or if I'm in a crowd at a really nice restaurant or something. I do change, and the language I use and the way I act to more accommodate and fit in to those situations. You got to do that in your marketing too. And because it endears people to you. If they think you're one of them, then they're going to trust you more, and they're going to buy more, and they're going to be willing to follow you more. But if you don't do that, they're like, oh, that guy. He's from he lives in a penthouse and drives a Lamborghini or whatever. So you got to do that in your marketing too.
Right. I remember I was in Hawaii, and there was a few guys, surfers, and I was going to go out not to surf, probably to kick back and watch. Every time I go in the water, Greenpeace comes out. So, anyways, I said to them, "Oh, hold on, I just gotta slip my bathing suit on." The guy comes back to me and he says, "If you ever say that again, you'll never come out with us. It's slapping on your board shorts."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, you have to know the crowd you're around. So it is important.
I mean, we're doing a product right now around sustainability. One of my big projects is, I've talked about it, but we're really ramping it up and doing some NFT stuff. And one of the people that we're bringing on as an advisor, she's a big time lawyer, and she's worked with the United Nations and a lot of countries on their sustainability efforts and stuff. And she's coming on as an advisor. She's actually probably going to give up a role at Columbia University, teaching role this fall, to actually come on and spend like 10 hours a week on doing some stuff with us, because she's so excited about it. But she read through, we did a white paper. And so it's like basically kind of like a summarized business plan in a way. And we did this big white paper. It's 30 pages or something. She read through it. She's like, look, you gotta, if you want to appeal to these big corporations and these big countries and get them involved behind what you're doing, you need to change some of these words. You're using the word, this word, sustainability. You need to use accountability. You need to use this. Change a few of these words and look what doors start to open. So back on your wording and what you're saying, knowing the audience and knowing the language of that audience is critical to get. And same thing on your copy on Amazon. If you got to know that avatar and write your copy to that avatar. If you're just writing standard bullet points or proper English, people always say, this is not proper English. Put your punctuation here. You shouldn't put the adverb here. To hell with all that shit. That in marketing, none of that matters. Mm-hmm. Proper English goes out what you learn in school should be ignored. In marketing, you need to write to convey, to communicate, and communicate in a way that audience is going to understand and appreciates and endears themselves to it.
Yeah, and if you want to learn more about it, there's lots of books out there. One of the things, we have just a membership over at Digital Marketer, and they have a lot of labs and courses that you can take around this, just how to become a better marketer. It's very inexpensive, but if you're looking at just going through, they do have certification programs, but just taking a course to brush up on it, the questions to ask, it's all there. So just go to Digital Marketer. I think it's digitalmarketer.com. And you can enroll and just check out what they have to say.
And you can find like 10 or 15 different things, Facebook, social media marketing, or email marketing, or and then you can get you can have your employees do it, and they take a little test or something at the end, and they actually mail you a certificate in the mail, looks like a diploma from a high school or college or something in the mail. Yeah,
they do a good job over there. They're in Austin, I think.
Yeah, they're in Austin. It's cheap too. It's not expensive.
Yeah. So I think we should get to the questions. We've got 8 of them so far, and there'll probably be more coming in.
All right. Yes. And don't forget to enter the hashtag Wheel of Kelsey today. So if you are the winner, you get your choice of one of 3 Honu Worldwide services to choose from. It could be a Turf Terminator, a free pallet of storage for a year, or the inventory management program for a month. So that's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey to enter. And we'll do the giveaway at the end of the show. So let's jump into some questions. The first one is actually I'm going to have to share my screen for this one. This was found on an Amazon listing, and Rad is asking if this is appropriate, which I have a feeling it's not, but it's to ask for a text message. So for those audio listeners, it's a picture in the slide deck for their Amazon listing, and it says, ask us anything about this product, text, and then it has a number that I blanked out to chat directly with an expert.
100% against ToS.
100%. They just haven't been caught yet. If that's your competitor, just send an email to report-abuse@amazon.com, report-abuse@amazon.com with that ASIN, and that'll probably get taken down.
Okay, great. All right, so let's move into another question from CoolHand99. Going forward with e-commerce in today's crazy economy, are certain products such as necessary life products and or consumables stand to weather the financial storm better than any other product types?
I don't know about that. I mean, you could say like standard stuff and necessary life products and consumables. Luxury brands right now are crushing it.
Yeah.
Luxury brands, the Louis Vuittons and the Porsches and the
Cartiers.
they're crushing it right now. They've had some of the best couple years, even with the inflation going on right now. So it depends. It goes back to your avatar. Who you're marketing to. I think the media makes a lot more. There is inflation right now, and it sucks, and it is affecting some people. But I think the media makes a bigger deal out of it because everything is rising. So when a couple years ago, everybody was bitching here in the U.S. at least about wages need to go up. All the McDonald's people were complaining that we're making $8 an hour, we should be making 15. We need a livable wage. But what they forget is it's economics. If you raise the wage to $15, everything else goes up too.
Right.
And they don't think about that. They think, oh, I'm gonna be making twice the money now. I can pay my bills. But no, when the the McDonald's owner has to pay you $15 an hour, he's got to charge more for the hamburgers.
Yeah.
He might eat a little bit of that. He might so that's everything is going in steps. Some things are not synced yet, and it's causing some problems for some people, especially on the lower end of the food chain. But it's e-commerce is not going anywhere. Amazon is, it's all this media like, oh, Amazon is the last quarter was their worst one ever, and e-commerce is dead, and it's not good anymore. And that's all BS. It's just not growing as fast as it did. They had a big bump during COVID, and they probably overbuilt some of their warehouses. I know they just had one here in Austin. They had like three huge ones here in Austin, a 4 million square foot one and another 2 million square foot one. They're about to do another one, and they just put that one on hold. And now they're doing, their excess. Amazon was smart though. They get this excess capacity. Let's fulfill orders for Shopify guys and stuff. It's really brilliant move.
Mm-hmm.
But this e-commerce is not dead. People are still going to be buying stuff. So whether it's a necessary life product or a consumable or a luxury good, you just got to know your market, and there's still plenty of opportunity out there.
Kevin.
Yeah.
We talked about this recently, but the pet product that you hear me talk about, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a high end pet product. And it's on for May, it's on track on Amazon for double the sales from last year. And you would think that, okay, things are tight, but the guys or the people with money are going to constantly be buying. And what I'm seeing, I don't know about you, but the lower end cannibals, product cannibalization, where they make lots of sales volume but no profit, those guys are going to hurt.
Yeah, I agree.
They're going to hurt. The mid tier, you're going to lose probably 10. This is just a prediction. Maybe 10 to 20% of your sales velocity. The high perceived value people, nothing. I would not worry about that at all. If you continue to be you have high perceived value and you can solve people's pain points, I would think.
People will pay for what they want.
Yeah.
You look at like travel right now. Travel is through the roof on costs. The airlines fees are crazy. I mean, I just booked economy tickets a couple of weeks ago to go to New York at the end of June, and in the past on JetBlue or something, that would have been $350 round trip from Austin, New York. Now it was $820 round trip, but I need to go to New York, and I'll pay it. Hotel prices are up. Everything's up.
Yep.
They're still full. The planes are still full. The hotels are full. People will make choices, so they may say, well, I'm going to take this trip instead of buying this new vacuum cleaner. But if your vacuum cleaner is cool enough, if it's the new Dyson, that's $1,000 vacuum cleaner, which I happen to have one, that has a laser on the end, and it shows you when you're vacuuming on like a hardwood floor, everything that you missed. It's pretty freaking amazing. It's like a game. I like vacuuming. I mean, my wife's like, this is made for men, because it's like a video game with this laser that shines out on the bottom. I will buy that because I want that. But someone else might say, no, I'm going to take the trip instead of buying that. But if you have things that are compelling, people will buy it. The life necessities, back on that question, and the consumables, that depends. But the life necessities, people are still going to buy. They may be looking for more deals, and like Norm said, on that lower end, it is going to be tougher. People will still buy it, but it's so much competition and so much little differentiation that it will be tougher for people to make money on it.
Right. Okay, next question.
Okay, the next question is from Dave. Do you both think putting your own customized box package together for wholesale products is a great way to set myself apart from other wholesale listings?
I'm always a big proponent. I think Norm, for the most part, is too, but of doing customized packaging, whether that's for direct to consumer or for wholesale. I mean, yeah. I mean, if there's any chance it's going on a store shelf somewhere, if when you're talking about wholesale, if you're wholesaling even if you're wholesaling to a school, even when we were doing like hand sanitizers and we're wholesaling to a school, it's not going on store shelves where the packaging might matter. It's going into a janitor's closet. It's still marketing. And still, when they take that bag of wipes out and they put it on a desk somewhere, I have QR codes and everything on there for people to scan and have cool stuff so that even people who are passing by just taking a wipe out, like, oh, what is that? So packaging, customized packaging is critical for everything I do. I will never just put something in a plain brown box.
Right. I feel exactly the same. And oh, by the way, on the Germ Shark note, I was going to play a mean trick on you. I forgot. I couldn't get the bottles, but I was going to, when we were in Paris recently, I was going to ask them to put the Germ Shark stuff all over the place. And
you would have got me if you did that.
Oh, man. All right, Kels, next question.
All right, this one is from Christine. I have a more premium brand that I'd like to sell outside of Amazon as well. The listed price will be 30 to 50% higher than the other Amazon products. Most on Amazon are $18 to $25, and we plan to sell for around $39. There are two other brands that are selling for $45 to $48. Do you think this is a brand that should sell on Amazon at the start, or only once we build up our brand awareness and marketing?
So the answer to that is, on the keywords that you're targeting for this product on Amazon, what is everybody else selling for? So if you've identified, let's say your top, I'm sure you've identified a lot of keywords, but let's say the top 10, these are like the main keywords that you really want to rank on page 1 for on Amazon. What are the price that everybody else is selling at on that? If you look at page 1 listing for each of these keywords, and everybody's at the what do you say here? The 18. Everybody's selling for $19.95, and there's not a single person on that page that's at $45 or $48. Then you're going to have a really hard time ranking on page 1 of Amazon for that keyword. If I like to see when I'm looking at keywords, if I'm going to price higher, I like to see that there's 2 or 3 or 4 people at least on page 1. There's a lot of price jumping. I had a problem with I've had this problem with makeup brushes in the past, where I was selling some makeup brushes. And I had a premium set, and I was trying to sell for a premium price. I could get it to page 1 with a launch, doing a big promotional launch, and get to page 1, but it would never stay because my price was, people that were buying based on that keyword, buying based on the price, and I just couldn't stay. So that's the thing to look at for Amazon. Amazon, I think, is still, no matter what you're selling, you need to be on Amazon. So whether you can get on page 1 for these keywords or not, you still should throw your product up on Amazon, because a lot of people, even if you're selling on your own Shopify site or direct to consumer, there's a lot of people that will see your Facebook ad or they'll see your email or whatever, and they'll go look to see if it's on Amazon before they buy it from you, because they're like, oh, my credit card's already saved on Amazon. I know I'll have it in a day or two. If I have a problem, I'm not going to have to jump through hoops to get my money back. So they will go check it on Amazon. So definitely, no matter what, you should be on Amazon. But whether you should put a lot of effort into ranking there initially or not depends on the keyword, the pricing, the price range on each of the top keywords that you're looking for. And so what you're looking for is a bunch of different prices. You said there's a couple that are 45 to 48. That's a good thing. But check all those keywords.
Yeah, and just to add to that, Tim Jordan and Bradley Sutton did Project X, and they found a saturated market with I think egg holders. Okay, and they found a niche, a sweet spot that wasn't tapped into, and they created a wooden egg holder, and they brought it out to the market. Now, if you can find those two higher priced, or the two higher priced ASINs, and you can find any sort of custom niche that you can target with them, see what the sales volume is, and you might be able to carve a place out there as well.
Okay, moving on to our next question. This is from Samuel. Should we start getting stock for Christmas? How much did you guys pay for a container per cubic meter / kilograms in your last import?
I'm not. Depends on where it's coming from, and depending on what port. There's a lot of variables to that. Depends on if it's a 20-foot container, or 20-foot HQ, a 40-foot or 40-foot HQ. Just it depends. But per cubic meter or kilogram, I'd have to look that up. I don't have that number off the top of my head, but it was about I think about $13,000 for the last container I brought in.
For the 20-foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. 40-foot are still going well over 20, at least from what I've last seen. But I can get some specific numbers from Afalabi, but they're still pretty high.
It's come down, but yeah, it's still pretty high. As far as stock, to answer your first part of your question, so the stock for Christmas, you should be. Yeah, it depends on your manufacturing time and your transit time, but yeah, I would definitely be. You want to pretty much have your Christmas stuff here by September at the latest. Yeah. To allow for any. So if your factory is 45 days to make it, it's going to take 30 days on the water, plus allow for some delays, and because of everything that's happening in China. But you need to be ordering now. But the one thing I think that a lot of people aren't thinking about is the lockdown. Shanghai's been in a lockdown for over a month. I have people in Shanghai that do some stuff for us, and guys haven't been able to leave their house basically for a month. It's like being in jail.
Yeah.
And we haven't started to feel the true repercussions of that yet. Shanghai, some parts of Beijing, some parts of Ningbo. It's going to affect some stuff this fall. You're going to, these factories and ports, a lot of places have been closed for a month or more. And you're going to start feeling that as they start to try to catch up this fall. There's going to be some serious delays and serious problems.
Yeah, 100% agreed. And if you can, we talk about this quite a bit. Can you find a different country to work in? Can you go over, like if it's cosmetics, maybe over to Korea, or do something over in India, or even over here? Let's say you're doing some supplements or something like that. Wood products, digital printing. North America, there's a lot of opportunity over here. Afalabi was spending it. That's my partner over at Honu. He was starting to spend a lot of time doing sourcing here in North America. And I thought prices would be way too expensive. And he's found all sorts of ways, either by changing materials or just product innovation, to keep things in line. Now, some things will not be in line, but some things are perfectly in line. And if he doesn't get them here, he gets them in Latin America. So there's a lot of different opportunities that you can work with outside of China.
And you're in fact going to a show soon about that, right? Sourcing in Mexico.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Next week, we have an event called, the sourcing, what's it called, Kevin? The Mexico sourcing trip, and just themexicotrip.com. If you're interested in going, by the way, the Mexico sourcing side is pretty much over. I mean, you could try to get in, but our mastermind in Cancun is still available. And I believe there's a $500 discount if you type in Norm 500. I think that's what it is. And we didn't have that planned, by the way. Thank you, Kevin.
All right. Our next question is from Claudia. This is there's two parts to this. It says, we are within days of ordering a mold for our product from a Mexican company. What advice can you offer us to make sure we don't do something wrong and make a big mistake regarding mold production? Is there something we should ask or do specific to molds? Thanks a lot.
Have you done any 3D? First thing, before you do a mold, have you done a 3D print of your product? So before you do that mold and have those molds made, you need to do 3D printing. There's special printers that print out like resin and stuff, and it can make a copy of what you're doing. Either your factory can do that, or you can find people all over the U.S. that can do this for you. There's companies, any big city will have someone that can do 3D printing for you. It's relatively inexpensive, and you need to make prototype and check everything. So if you haven't done that before you've done that mold, I would definitely do that, because you could make the mold and realize, oh my gosh, we didn't leave enough space for this cord or whatever it may be. And even though on paper it looks good, you've done your measurements and your spec diagrams and your CADs in 3D and everything, still you got to make a 3D print of it. And 3D print basically is like it's kind of like a prototype. It may not work, but it's a prototype you can hold in your hand and look at with your eyes and test.
Yeah. One other just quick points: when you're having your molds done, try to put it with your mold or with your logo or name inside the mold, and also be very specific. I've seen, not so much in Mexico, but there have been cases where the manufacturer, because you've come to them for help, ends up owning the mold. So you want to be very clear that this is your mold, and that you are the rightful owner of it, and it's not a shared mold.
Yeah, that's good point. Make sure you're covered legally on that this is yours, and if you ask for it to be back or to be sent to another factory, I've had that problem with the mold I did in China. It's my product. We had the mold made. We paid for the mold, and at some point we wanted to try another factory, and we asked them, "Can you send this?" And like, "Oh, we can't find it. It's buried somewhere. Take us a few days to go and dig in the warehouse." Like, come on. They're very heavy. They did every excuse in the book to not release that. And then finally at the end, they said, well, if you want us to release it, it's a fee. We'll sit it there, but it's a $20,000 fee. But I didn't clarify all up front, get legal stuff to say we own this. This is ours. We have the right to withdraw it or remove it or use it in any way we see fit. I didn't actually do that.
I got a question for you on that point. Did you have, or would you have now put it into a contract out of China?
If it's a big product and a big thing like this was, I would.
Yeah.
I would have a Chinese language contract done.
Okay. All right. Next.
Okay. Next one is from Forensic Detectors.
Hey, haven't seen you in a long time.
All right. What's up, homie? What's your opinion on the Amazon Small Business Badge? It looks nice, but do you think it may backfire? People think you're too small and may not be a positive to some people.
No, I don't think it's going to backfire. I think there's a lot of people like to support small businesses, and they want to support the small person. There may be some people. I just don't see it as backfiring. That if the product looks good and the listing looks good and you have that badge, I think it's a plus. People are like, oh, I'd rather buy from this guy. I want to support him rather than some big, huge conglomerate.
Right.
I don't think it'll backfire, and I don't think people are going to think, oh, you're small. No, I think it could be a good thing.
Okay. The next one has 3 points to it, so I'll just finish this. This is from Peter. I have a product with a relatively large package which has recently been continuously due to the following reasons: delivered late by carrier, order not received, shipping address undeliverable problems, which seriously affected our customers' experience and our business. I opened a case, but the customer said that it can only be inquired after 60 days. Can you tell me why?
Yeah, Amazon, there's 60 days because when stuff like that's undeliverable or it just floats around in the system for a while, so they want to let it kind of work its way out. There are undeliverable. You would think that people on Amazon would actually know their damn address, but it's amazing how many people type in bad addresses of their own house, or maybe they're ordering for a friend, they type it in. So undeliverable is actually more common than what you might think. So I wouldn't. You're not going to get penalized for that. It sucks because it's coming back, and you're going to get maybe a restocking fee, and maybe the item's damaged, and I just build that into my cost structure. You know, when I'm doing my cost, if my manufacturing cost is $5, I usually add about 10 to 20% to that for just waste and damage and returns that I have to throw away. So I consider my cost $6, not $5, just to account for that. If you're in clothing or something else, it might be even higher.
Right.
But that's so the undeliverable part. It's not going to hurt your metrics. You know, it's going to show up in the voice of the customer or whatever in there. But now, if they're exchanging it all the time because of a sizing issue and it's not clothing, that can hurt your metrics. If it's clothing, you have to really get a high return rate before it affects you, because they know people buy 2 or 3 of something, try one on, see which one looks best or which one fits, and send the other ones back. It's a common thing. But don't let that undeliverable, or what was the other 2 reasons? It was undeliverable and what was the other one you said?
Delivered late by carrier, order not
Late
received.
by carrier also is an order received is not your fault if it's Amazon. If it's Amazon shipping it. Now, if it's you shipping it, the order not received is a problem. But delivered late by carrier is also something that's, as long as you shipped it within the time frame that you promised on Amazon, it's not something that's going to penalize you. Just that the order never arrived could, even though it may not be your fault.
Right. And if it's in feedback, you could get that removed immediately if it was a FBM or a FBA issue.
Okay. There's still lots of questions. I don't know how you guys are for time.
Kevin, how's your time?
What time is it right now? I probably have like maybe 5 minutes tops.
Okay.
I've got a meeting at coming up.
All right. This is from Stan. Is it against ToS to offer a free product when selling your Amazon product? The free offer is specified in one of the bullet points of the listing, but needs to be claimed outside of Amazon post-purchase, with the customer filling out a form directed from a product insert. The strategy is taught post-purchase pro and used by hundreds of their clients.
Yeah, that's a gray area on this one. I know exactly what you're talking about there. It can be okay, and it cannot be okay. Just it depends on the wording and how you're doing it. So to give you the advice on this is I have to see on a case by case basis. I know that's a strategy of those guys, and it can be a good strategy if done proper. But there's a gray area there that you got to be careful with.
Right.
Okay. From Redbeard.
And the guys from Post Purchase Pro are going to be on Monday, so we can ask some questions.
Yeah, they're smart guys. I mean, they're good marketers and smart guys.
Okay, from Redbeard. What's the best way to start my first list? I've heard someone mention before, launch with reviews. How do you do that? Those might be 2 separate questions, actually.
Yeah, you need to get reviews. I mean, if you don't have a list, the buying program is the best way to do that. Amazon buying program. There's no guarantees on that. You can get up to, I think it's 60 now, actually, reviews.
Is it 60 now?
I think so, unless I'm mistaken. But is it 60 or is it still? I've heard something about that. I haven't checked. I haven't launched the product in a couple of months. But 30, you can get at least 30. I may have changed the 60. But there's no guarantee that those are going to get claimed. You can say, I'm going to give away, let's call it 30 products. And depending on your product, if it's not cool or not something that those buying reviewers want, you only have 6 of them claimed. Other times you might have all 30 claimed, but at least it's worth a shot. And go with Divine Review if you don't have your own list. If you have your own list, that takes time to build. You have to build an audience either through social media or through some other methods, which it takes a long time. And just building up a Facebook group, and you get 500 followers in a Facebook group is not a list. You don't own that. Facebook owns that.
Yeah.
You post in that group about your new product, probably only 50 of the people are ever going to see it. Maybe 100 of those 500 will ever even see the post. And out of those, how many of them are actually really buyers? Yeah, you may be selling a pet product and they love their dog, but that doesn't mean they're a buyer of your product. So it's difficult. And the new Freedom Ticket next year, I'm going to be doing a whole section on that because it's becoming more and more important on Amazon. Now, there's companies that you can go to that will have those. I think our friend Isabella is doing something in that space. And there's companies that will help you introduce you to audiences. But the best way is to try to find someone that already has a list and partner with them, which is a lot of times like an influencer or
Yeah.
somebody that already has a trusted audience and a huge list that will buy what they say. But that's a whole discussion we could spend days on.
I'm just I go back to the simple insert. I'll drive people over.
We
Use a
started
QR.
having a list before he launched, so he doesn't. The insert.
Oh, okay. Yeah, missed that.
He's talking about having something to launch with.
Yeah. All right. You got time for one more?
Sure.
Or unless you guys want to talk about the F1 before we leave. It's up
We
to
can do
you
a
guys.
question. Yeah, we can do another question.
Okay, one more question. Hi guys, I'm doing a design differentiated product based on a niche. I did a pick fu poll, top Amazon seller pick versus my product, and only 20% of folks selected mine. It's a very competitive market. Is this a warning sign or a positive thing that 20% actually like my niche product?
Yeah, I would try to. I mean, if it's a competitive niche and there's depth in that, if you're able to if there's the top 10 people are all crushing it, and you're able to capture 20% of what that top guy's doing, that's not a bad start. But 20% would be, for me, if 80% of people pick the other one, I would be making changes to my product. I would be like, what do I need to do? I'd be reading those comments that they put and coming back and I'd try to beat that. I'd try to get that to 50-50 or better.
Yeah.
That would be my goal, and keep reiterating the picture or reiterating something and reading what they're saying and trying. You have to try 5 or 10 different times before you finally find the right magic formula.
I think you nailed it. You typically you would try to be higher, but see what in the competitive field, see what all the market share adds up to. You'll be able to see it when you do your research with a tool like Helium 10. So, it could be okay, just depending if there's, 10 people that are, 10% each and you get 20% of that wouldn't be too bad. All right. So,
And
Mr. Kevin.
Your product, maybe it's a sub niche, maybe that other guy
sure.
is more broad, and you're the only reason 20% of yours chose is because it's a sub niche, and maybe that sub niche is big enough. So that's like Norm said, it might be okay. I have to look at some additional information there.
Right. Okay. For people who have not heard, Kevin and I in October are doing something kind of fun.
What are we doing? Doing something with you?
Yeah, you are.
Who the heck convinced me to do something with you?
Your wife.
Gonna ruin my name. Right.
You'll have to talk to V. So we were going to go out. We already had bought our tickets to go out to the Formula One. We're huge F1 fanatics. And one of the, I guess, F1 events had reached out to Kevin to see if he wanted to get a cabana. And
when we tried to go, Norm, when we bought the tickets went on sale in like March.
Yeah. And
we're like, hey, we got to go. Let's go. We want to get a group of people to go. We called them. We said, hey, we'd like a cabana, because I've been out to this thing so many times that's the way to go. If you want to do it right and do it cool and have a blast and not be in huge crowds and in the sun and stuff, you got to get a cabana. Well, when we called, they're like, sorry, there's none available. All the people from the past years have had them. It's like, well, put us on a wait list if something opens up. And then last week, the sales rep over there for the VIP people calls me and said, hey, we just added 12 more to turn one. We've never had them on turn one before, and we just decided to put some there. I'm like, holy shit, 12 turn one? That's like an amazing location. He's like, yeah, it's really good. So at the start of the race and the end of the race, you see everything. It's a cool turn. It's like, wow, how many are available? So we got 2 left. Do you want one? And I said, hold on, give me 5 minutes. I was in my car. Let me call my buddy. So I called Norm. He's like, I said, you want one? He's like, hell yeah, we want. How much? You think you have to ask the price? I'm like, wait a second, Norm. Let me tell you what this thing costs. I don't just get it. We'll figure something out. I'm like, so I called the guy back and said, can we have it? Yeah, put it on hold for us or whatever, and we'll pay you. Take our deposit, our money that we've already paid. We already bought nice, VIP tickets at like $5,000 a piece. But we're not even close to this level. And literally that cost, it's not like from some secondary market. And they applied that, then we have to come up with a lot more money. So then Norm and I decided, hey, you know what? Why don't we make this a little event? We got room for 15 people. Let's let's see who else wants to join us. And so that's what we've done. And Norm can talk about that.
Yeah, basically overnight we put something together. We put up a website called it's collectivemindssociety.com, and you can read about it all there. It's just everything that's happening, the event, the mastermind, the networking. We're going to be going out for a networking session, like just a casual time out, cigars and drinks. If you don't smoke cigars, don't worry about it. And also, we're going to go out the last night for a really nice dinner on the town. It's transportation back and forth from one location. Anyways, there's a few tickets left. 70% were sold out. It's in October. What we're trying to do is, if you are interested, because we have to pay everything up front, is if you are interested, just let us know. You can either email us or you can book a ticket online. And it's not for everybody. It's expensive. The ticket for everything is pretty much all inclusive, except for the hotels. Hotels are extra. It's about 10 grand. So check it out. If it is something that you like to see, let us know. There's a few tickets left, and then we'd see you in October. So anyways, I think that's about it for our F1 thing that we put up. And how fast do we have a website, sponsor package?
Oh, hey, you did it. You've been working around the clock. Or slave driving his people.
Yeah. Kelsey. Yeah. Driving Kelsey. Anyways, that's it for that. Now
it's an extra gift for his birthday.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we've got really great seats for Green Day and Ed Sheeran as well. So Kelsey just put that in there. Okay. So I think we could head over to the Wheel of Kelsey. We'll give you a couple of seconds. If anybody has not done this before, hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, tag 2 people. You'll get a second entry. And that is going to be for one of the 3 options that from Afalabi over at Honu Worldwide.
All right. And Kevin, if you have to get going to your meeting, just feel free to drop out. We can cover it from here.
2 minutes. I'll hang and see who wins this.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Very good.
So first, word from our sponsor.
If you're selling on Amazon in 2022, you know how important it is to stand out from your competition. Let Honu Worldwide lend a helping hand with your product innovation to outcompete your competition online. That's right. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the success of your newly innovative product while Honu handles all the work. Visit HonuWorldwide.com for more information. That's Honu, HONU, worldwide.com, or email savings@HonuWorldwide.com. There we go.
Right. Here we go. The Wheel of Kelsey.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
Okay, here we go. Thank you, everyone who entered. I want to shuffle these up and spin the wheel. And let's see who today's winner is.
No, it can't be. Rad, are you paying Kelsey?
I don't know how this keeps happening. Rad got it again.
All right. Well, congrats, Rad. I think Kevin, he won last time, and then just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's got. I think he's got Kelsey in his back pocket or something.
Yeah, I'm making a lot of money right now. That's great.
All right. Well, I know you got to get going. Kevin, like always, it's just a pleasure to have you on. You're just tons of information. And just can't wait till you're back on. I'll send you over a link to book for next month. Okay.
Awesome, man. Take care. Okay.
All right, Kevin, we'll see you later. All right. So I hope everybody liked that episode. Whenever Kevin comes on, we just talk about pretty much anything that comes to our mind. And we went down a couple different rabbit holes. I thought it was a lot of fun. So Kelsey, where are you?
Here. Hello.
All right.
All right. So
do your thing. Do what you get paid for.
I know there's a ton of questions today. We didn't get time to answer all of them. But if you go over to our Facebook group, it's Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA and E-commerce Collective. That's the Facebook group, not the Facebook page. can join there. You can ask your questions, or if you have any comments, you can put them there. We've got a great community over there. So yeah, feel free to post them. And hopefully you'll get the answers you need. Also, don't forget to smash those like buttons, give us a thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. It's always great having Kevin on. He comes on usually around once a month, depending on schedules and everything. So yeah, you can stick around next. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook. Norm also is on Instagram. He does little video highlights, giving tips. So yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay. The only other thing I would say is if you are interested, there's a paid membership service, which is dirt cheap. You could buy Kelsey a cup of coffee for $3, and there's a couple of other levels, and it's all training. It's not a podcast. We have special guests come on. Kelsey does some training every month about social media. I come on and I do a couple of trainings as well and question periods. So if you're interested, love to have you over there. It's our Patreon group. It just helps support Kelsey because I don't pay him. So, well, Kelsey says I don't pay him enough. And, 3 cups of coffee a day, that's not bad pay.
Yeah, we'll put it to the poll. We'll put that in the Facebook.
Okay. All right. That's the poll. All right, everybody. So thanks for joining us today, and join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the community, and enjoy your long weekend.
Lunch with the